everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at my February 2026 kit lineup, so let's just go ahead and jump into it. I feel like I literally just filmed one of these, but I think it was that I was editing the January one late, so it feels like I just did this, but February is a short month anyway, so pretty soon we'll be filming March, so gotta get this one done and dusted. So I like to use a monthly kit. I'm in a little bit of a conundrum this month towards the end of January because I'm trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to use for March, and I might have to find some printables or something, but there's not a lot of printable monthly kits. There's not a lot of monthly kits at all. I'm like this close to like making my own, but that would involve learning a lot in a short period of time. So we'll just have to see. But for February, I am going to continue using Caress Press. Caress Press has been closed for the holidays, for like an extended holiday break. So I would go there for a March monthly kit, but I can't right now. But I can for February. This is a few years old Lunar New Year kit for the February monthly view. I can tell because it's got the tiger, and I believe the last year of the tiger was like 2022. I love, love, love the Lunar New Year art that came out this year, but I had already bought this before that came out. So anyway, this is the deco and full box and square box sheet. It's a little bit of an older format of the monthly kits. I wanted to kind of like go back in time and use the oldest version of a monthly kit. Oops, I just knocked over something, sorry. And then kind of like make my way back from there. I also just really liked the colors and the scene in this particular Lunar New Year kit. So I'll probably redate this with my Recollections monthly stickers because I do really prefer a Monday start on my monthly view at this point. Since this kit, more recently with monthly kits, I've noticed she's taken the dates off as well, or sorry, the days off as well as the month. You can take that off if you want to, or you can get it with the month on it, which at this point I'm like, maybe I should have done that because I don't have a February script that will match this, but that's okay. So yeah, I'll probably cover these up with my own stickers to redate this for a Monday start, but I do have the payday flags and the old icons. And then the other half of the week, these little like bow washi strips, movie marquee, these mini movie marquees and monthly kits for Caress Press are really adorable. The date squares and then some other full boxes and payday flags. I really feel like Caress Press is great at like using every bit of the sticker sheet that she can. So there's like a little flag here as well. And then we've got some labels as well as some scripts for the holidays in February. So I'll definitely use those. And that is the whole monthly kit. So yeah, like I said, a bit of an older format, but I can definitely still make this work. And I'm not able to use a Lunar New Year weekly kit this year. So I thought it would be nice to dedicate the monthly spread to the Lunar New Year. So happy Lunar New Year if you're celebrating this month. So then let's get into the weekly kits. I have no idea what I want to use for the first week of February, so I'm just going to kind of play it by ear and see what speaks to me once the week is passed. So I have 3 different kit leftover sets for the week of February 2nd through the 8th. I think those are the right dates. Yeah. So let me talk you through my most likely option versus my least likely option. So as far as my most likely option, I think, we'll see, is like an anytime kit. So I thought about doing like mostly pink kits for February because Valentine's Day, obviously. But also just to kind of like have a theme for the month. So this is You'll Find Me Reading by Cinderella Paper. And I think Cinderella Paper is kind of shutting down like the physical side of her Etsy, but then has a lot of printables. But then also, I don't know, it's a little confusing right now because the shipping is like really expensive because if you don't know, I think she's either in Indonesia or somewhere in that part of the world where the US has imposed a bunch of tariffs. So that kind of sucks, but I still have lots and lots of leftovers from a bunch of her physical kits, and I believe you can still buy like the printable kits on her Etsy. Anyway, all of that to say, this is like obviously a book themed kit, so I've got lots of book leftovers. I just thought this would be a nice cozy kit for this time of year because February is still pretty cold. It'll be like sunny but cold in February most of the time where I live. So I think I used this in maybe January last year. Yeah, that makes sense. I think I used this for like the first week of the semester. So yeah, I thought this would be a good way to maybe kick off February. So that's the first option that I am most likely going to use. The other options kind of depend on what activities we get up to this week. So I also have leftovers from another Cinderella paper kit. These are all Cinderella paper kits, I'm realizing. This is called Frosty. I used this for my January anniversary last year. I have a lot of boxes left over from this. And I figured maybe I could use this if we do anything snow related this week, or if it's just really really cold. I live in kind of northern central California. I live in Sacramento. So snow is not far away. Like you can go to it, but it's definitely like something you choose to do. It's not something that like happens to you. So I love the colors in this. It's another very pink kit. So if we decide to go up to the mountains or anything this weekend, which I don't really know why we would. The other thing is the Milan Olympics, the Winter Olympics start this week on the 6th. And I do want to watch some of that. So this could be a kind of a fun nod to that since there wasn't any like Winter Olympics art. So could do that, but we'll see. And then finally, of course, this is also the week of the Super Bowl. And the funny part is, whoops, forgot that I pulled these. The funny part is that we are hosting the Super Bowl kind of in my backyard. So like I mentioned, I live in Sacramento. The Super Bowl, I forgot this until a few weeks ago, is being hosted at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, which is like where my grandparents used to live, kind of. They didn't live in Santa Clara, but they lived nearby. So it's kind of like our Super Bowl. However, the two teams that are in the Super Bowl this year, I do not care about. Sorry if they're your team. They are definitely not my team. I got real excited a few weeks ago when I heard that the 49ers beat the Eagles. I was like, what? Is that right? That would be lit if like we were hosting the Super Bowl and the Niners were in it. That'd be crazy. And then obviously like the Bad Bunny halftime show with Green Day opening. I feel like that's going to be really cool. So I might watch that. But other than that, like I don't care about the Super Bowl if I'm being totally honest. However, if somebody decides to like invite us to a Super Bowl party, I'm not going to say no because I do love Super Bowl food. Haven't been to a Super Bowl party probably since college. And that was when the 49ers were in the Super Bowl. I think that was the year. It was it the 49ers and the Seahawks in 2013? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure we lost, but yeah. I pick football teams and other sports teams purely based on regionality. Like if they're a NorCal team, then they're my team. And yeah, so this was a really, really old Cinderella paper kit. Usually I only pay attention to college football. So I'm pretty sure this is when I used this originally, but I saved the boxes that are kind of like watching football at home. So I could use that. So I have no idea what I'm doing the week of February 2nd, but we will live the week of February 2nd and then we will figure it out later. I've also got a little bit of like rosy pink foil from Plannahannah and Linner Designs to use with either of the pink kits that I showed you. So kind of like separate out what the heck is going on over here. So if I do use one of these pink-ish kits, or this could be used with the pink kits that I've got pulled for later in the month as well, then that's what that foil would look like, but it's like a very minimal amount of foil. So that's going to be the first week of February. I was about to say December because I've lost my mind apparently. So then we get into February 9th through the 15th. This is of course the week of Valentine's Day, but more importantly it's the week of my husband's birthday as well as my sister's birthday. One of my sisters. They have the same birthday. So I dove into printable kits again because I love this like record store art, but honestly nobody that I know is selling it physically. So I went to Pink Planner Shop and printed it off myself. Ignore these first two sheets. This was my first attempt at using my silhouette, and I put in the settings for like die cut stickers instead of kiss cut stickers. So I was able to peel everything off, and these stickers are perfectly usable, but they were cut as die cuts instead of as like a sticker sheet. So I figured it out after that sheet, but yeah, I just like peeled the backing off of each of these stickers and then stuck them to some spare sticker sheet paper that I had. So these are the full boxes. What is this called? It's called Music Lover, and this is from Pink Planner Shop. So these are the sheets that I printed off. This very much reminded me of my husband because he's been loving browsing the record stores lately. And we did get a record player this past year, and he likes going around, especially to like the used record stores. We have quite a lot of them in Sacramento, actually, and he just browses. So yeah, and this has got cats in it too, which is very much my husband. I'll probably try to downplay the like magenta color, not because he would be against it, but it's definitely not like his color aesthetic. So I'm gonna lean into like the blacks and the grays and the blues here. So these are the date covers and the washi and the extra full box. And then we get into the sheets that are properly cut. This is on Online Labels weatherproof matte paper, by the way. So these are not perfectly cut. This is totally on me, but that is fine. These are the pattern boxes and labels. These are the solid color patterns, or solid color labels, I should say. And then we've got all the little things, both the patterned and the solid colors. And then the square boxes and the rounded off boxes. This is what's really nice for having a silhouette now, is that I don't have to hand cut the what are supposed to be rounded off boxes. I do feel like my silhouette got a little thrown off by this sheet, but that's okay. We'll live with it. And then we have the glitter headers, the extra full boxes, and some more labels and washi. And then the deco, which is so much nicer to cut on a silhouette rather than having to hand cut it, the weekend banner, the weekly checklists and habit trackers, movie marquees, and page flags. So yeah, that's the first kit that I've cut with my silhouette. There will be many more to come because I do have a bunch of Pink Planner Shop kits in my inventory. You just haven't seen them yet because I have not printed them. So that will be for the week of February 9th through the 15th. We'll celebrate my husband's birthday, we'll celebrate Valentine's Day, and we'll celebrate the fact that we both have like a 4-day weekend because we work in public service. So yay to that. Moving on to the next week of February 16th through the 22nd. I'm just going to use some more pink kits for the rest of the month because why not? So this is the week of President's Day, which who really celebrates even other than having the day off if you work a public sector job. It's also the week of Lunar New Year and Mardi Gras. They fall on the same day this year, which is kind of funny. I didn't have a kit for either of them, but I liked this kit for this time of year. So I believe this is called Fantasy Day by Cinderella Paper. Again, another one where I have leftovers of a physical kit. I love the boxes in this and I have a ton of leftover boxes for it. So I just thought it was cute for February, but also for the fact that my husband does sort of like this genre. I think I used this the week before his birthday last year. So I love these like gothic windows and everything. This is really, really pretty. So those are the leftovers for the kit. I would love to get back on buying underlays for kit leftovers because when I only have a few full boxes left over, that's when I feel the most comfortable using underlays because then they'll actually show. I hate when I use a full kit with like 8 full boxes and then you can't even see the underlays because I covered everything up. So actually that's how I would like to use underlays moving forward. It's just a matter of like timing the orders of underlays, and like when it becomes too much work to like put together both a kit and the character stickers and the underlays, it just is not as fun anymore. It starts to become a little stressful. So I'm simplifying things for now. I'm sure I'll get into more underlay usage again eventually. So that's for February 16th, and then for the final week of February, so February 23rd through the 28th, February 23rd through March 1st, I believe is the date. I'm just going to use more leftovers from Cinderella Paper, keeping with my pink theme, and this is called Motherload. This is this was Dinda's palettes, I think, back when she was Milk and Berries. This is the Sims themed kit. No particular Sims themed activities going on this week. I really don't know what's going on this week, actually. I did get the Sims board game for Christmas, so I would like to sit down with my husband and play it because it is one of the few board games that you can play with just 2 players, so I'm kind of excited about that. I have none of the plum bob pattern of this little thing left, which is kind of sad. I definitely used a ton of that last year. So yeah, really love this art. Really love the kit colors that Cinderella Paper chose with this. I think that's really fun and really like The Sims. So I don't play it much on the computer anymore because it doesn't work really on my current computer. I have the app on my iPad, the free play version, but I don't really play it that much because it's not the same, if I'm being honest. But I do think this one I might move around. That kind of goes for any of the kits that I'm showing here other than the record store one. I might move any of these around depending on the vibes of the week or the plans that we get up to. We don't have a lot planned for sure in February. We have some things that we would like to do. Like I know my husband would like to probably go to Dim Sum and like the record store, and we might go to the Nintendo store in San Francisco if we can make our way out there. But other than that, like everything's going to be kind of chill and just kind of doing things as we feel like it. So this is everything I got going for February. It's gonna probably go by really quickly. January goes by really quickly for me. I don't know about you. Everyone always like complains that January is really long. Honestly, I personally feel like January is too short, like too many things happen too quickly. So I am on the opposite end of that spectrum, but that's just me. And then February, like you just blink and it's over. So this is what I've got going so far. Kind of leaning into the pink, except if we end up using this football kit, but as we've discussed, that's probably not the most likely. So then we're starting off the month with Lunar New Year. So let me know what you've got going on in February. Obviously I don't have a Valentine's Day kit, but that's just because none of the art really like spoke to me. I don't personally like Valentine's Day colors. I think it's a little too much for me. So yeah, I prefer to just use kind of things that sort of remind me of Valentine's Day. And then when there is art that I really, really like for Valentine's Day, I snatch that one up. So yeah, do you really lean into Valentine's Day for February? Do you have other events going on? Let me know down below. I will talk to you next time.